The women's NCAA tournament has invaded the Lear Center. I'm Julian Marshall, and I'll introduce you to one UConn player that has strong ties with the Temple football program. Owlsports Update starts now.
Hello, Owl fans, and welcome to another edition of Owlsports Update. Alongside Jeff McDevitt, I'm Joe Polinsky. Coming up, the Temple baseball team took its 10-game winning streak on the road to open up conference play. We'll tell you exactly how the Owls fared.
But first, a Temple softball player does something that has only been done 3 times in Temple softball history. For more on this feat, we bring in our resident softball expert, Kyle Fisher, from the newsroom.
Kyle, tell us about Kristen Maris.
Guys, Kristen Maris is a senior who seems to do a pretty good job of putting up zeros on the scoreboard, and that's a good thing when you're a pitcher. Maris showed that Roy Halladay isn't the only Philadelphia sports star with no-hit stuff. Maris has thrown 2 no-hitters in the past 2 weeks. Take that, Doc. But off to the diamond we go to prove it. It's the Owls versus the Rhode Island Rams. It was a windy day out in Ambler. Let us pick this one up in the 3rd with 2 Owls on, and Devin Bellens comes to the plate. She hits this one deep. Where'd it go? I can't see it. Can you? Well, neither can our cameraman, but I promise you it is gone. 3-run shot. Owls up 5-0. Bellens is the team's home run leader. As the game goes on, you start to feel a special feeling in the air. Kristen Maris continues seeing down batter after batter with this easy out, flip to first. Rhode Island's Nicole Masoni comes up trying to break up the no-no, and she pops it up here. I guess it's a really good thing that batters must wear helmets. What'd that helmet ever do to you? In the 6th now, another K. Maris goes on to no-hit Rhode Island. Owls soar 10-0. Number 7 picks up her 2nd no-no in 12 days and her 12th victory on the year. Maris has been nothing short of dominant against her opponents in these 2 outings. She threw a total of 11 innings, obviously no hits, no runs, and 5 strikeouts combined. She also knows how to help herself, batting .386 and scoring 7 runs in games where she toes the rubber. The good news didn't last very long, though, as the Owls dropped a doubleheader to Marist on Tuesday. Temple is 13-15 on the year. Jeff, back to you on the set.
Thanks, Kyle. Now, when you think of no-hitters here in the city of Philadelphia, you probably think of one person, Kevin Millwood. But early on in the 2011 season, Maris owns the mound as she is the queen of the no-no. Updates Lindsay Keeler has more.
Throwing a no-hitter is a once-in-a-lifetime accomplishment. But for Temple's softball pitcher Kristen Maris, it's happened twice in 1 month.
I knew that I was really close, and I was just like thinking to myself, I can't let anyone get on because I know how close I am right now. And I was just like trying to keep thinking positive.
As one of 4 captains and the only senior, Maris is the team's leading pitcher with a total of 56 strikeouts this season. She is also one of the top hitters. There's no question that she is a leader.
She's more by her actions. She doesn't say much, not very loud. And Kristen kind of just, she's the kind of give you a pat on the back first versus saying anything.
I'm more of like a quiet leader. I feel like if anyone had problems, they could come and ask me.
Number 7 is the 3rd pitcher in Temple softball history to throw 2 no-hitters in 1 season. But even with her busy schedule, she still finds time to focus on her academics as a geology major.
Last summer we took a team to Australia, and 4 of the Temple girls came, and Kristen was one, and she was, she's like, I'm taking these rocks, they're from Australia, I'm going to take these rocks home. So it's kind of cool that, to see her do all that stuff. So that's where her interest is, so I'm hoping she's able to do something with it.
Maris spent time at 2 different schools before settling at Temple. Her time at New Mexico State and at a junior college in Texas has helped shape her approach to the game.
Work your hardest, give your all every time, and when you start having bad thoughts to yourself about, oh, I might do bad, or like, what if this happens, just like turn around and like think the opposite, like just think positive things.
Reporting for Owlsports, I'm Lindsay Keeler.
After dropping their first conference series against Xavier, the Owls baseball team still found themselves 6 games over 500, heading into the annual Liberty Classic at Delaware. We pick it up in the top of the 7th of a wild one. Owls down 10-9. Jeff Murray on the hill feeds it to Adrian Perez, who says, peace out, connecting on a game-tying home run, one of his 5 hits on the afternoon. Owls were like Taco Bell, except they weren't thinking outside the bun, but instead outside the park, as Cameron Green ties the game again with a 2-run home run. The 5th long ball for the Cherry and White. This sends the game into extras. In the extra session, Phil Giancos takes the rubber, but Nick Ferdinand sends everyone home with a 3-run walk-off home run over the left center field fence, handing the Owls their 3rd loss in their last 4 games. Your final 15-12.
Now, as you've seen, springtime means baseball and softball are in full swing. But here at Temple, it also means the start of spring football practice. The 2011 football season is chock full of storylines, mainly the departure of Coach Al Golden to Miami and the start of the Steve Addazio era. The Dodge days are upon us, or so says Update's Anya Cleveland.
Temple football can now say they have national championship experience. Preparation for the 2011 season is underway, but this time, 2-time national championship coach Steve Addazio is the lead voice giving his new players direction.
He tells you exactly what he wants. He tells the kids exactly what he wants, and then he expects you to do it. Be it a coach, player himself, he holds everyone to a really high standard.
Off the field, he's a real nice guy, real straightforward, but on the field, he'll get after you. Like, if you're not doing something the right way, not doing something the way you taught, he's going to jump you, but then at the same time, he's going to try to bring you along.
The learning process goes both ways. Addazio's learning as much as he can from his new team, and the players are doing the same for their new head man.
Right, as of right now, it's just fun. It's just basic fundamentals and just learning how to go through the plays the correct way and not too much more thinking.
Spring ball is all about fundamentals and establishing great fundamentals. Obviously, we're establishing the foundation of our program right here in spring.
Addazio comes to Temple at a nice time. Following 2 straight winning seasons, it's a much better situation than the one former coach Al Golden got when he came to Temple back in 2005.
I'm just worried about what we're doing. Al did a great job here, and but for our program right now, like I told you, we just want to come out of the spring and find out where we are as a football team.
There are 15 sessions scheduled for spring drills this semester. The players' hard work will be displayed on April 16th during the annual Cherry and White football game here at the Edberg Olsen Football Complex. Reporting for Owlsports Update, I'm Anya Cleveland.
Time to take a quick break. Coming up on Owlsports Update, the Leocore Center played host to the Philadelphia Regional in the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament. Our own Jillian Marshall was there.
And the Lax team tries to snap its 6-game losing streak. Stick around.
There are 380,000 NCAA student athletes. And most of us will go pro in something other than sports. In something other than sports. To learn more, go to ncaa.org.
Why not?
How's everybody doing tonight?
Hello.
Chrissy, hey.
Hey, Alex.
How are you?
Alex? Alex?
Oh.
Hello. I'm Mrs. Garcia. We've heard a lot about you.
He is cute. Stop.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Welcome back to Owlsports. We're jumping right into women's lacrosse. And Joe, it wasn't the thrill in the middle, but it was off the Heezy Tuesday afternoon as Charlotte Zavola rolls in and scores to make it 3-0. The Owls absolutely dominated the first half. Here's Jamie Tabor gives the defender a killer crosser and scores to make it 6-2 at that juncture. Temple was up as much as 10-4, but then the wheels came off. We got 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals in a row. Not 6, but Lafayette tied it up at 10. But the hero on the day was Missy Schweitzer, who scored twice in the last 10 minutes to give the Owls the victory. There's the game-winning goal with just a minute left. It was such a tight game. The Owls won 12-11.
To another team that plays on the turf, back in February, Temple named all-conference selection Charisse Young as the new field hockey assistant coach. Having graduated just a year ago, Charisse has a special bond with one of the players she now coaches. Updates Lindsay Bittler has more.
Making the change from player to coach is usually a tough transition for just about any athlete. But for Charisse Young, her last name makes the challenge even tougher. Therese is in charge of 27 young women on the Temple field hockey team, and one of those women shares her last name, sister Carissa Young.
Well, initially I was kind of like, oh great, I can't get mad at her and that kind of thing, you know, because when your older sister kind of tells you what to do, sometimes you don't want to listen. Are you two listening? Yeah.
Carissa, a rising senior on the team, is adjusting to her older sister's changed role from teammate to coach.
Over there for Laura. But Kayla, yes, use Carissa! There you go! Indoor season that we've had, sometimes I like want to say something or like make fun of her if she does something, but like I have to like hold myself back because she's a coach.
I think it will be a little different now. But I think both of us are mature enough to know that we need to filter certain things. We can't just say whatever we want, but I know hockey will come up because we both care about the sport so much.
Field hockey comes up all the time and we're in conversations, so it's going to be interesting to see kind of, I feel like I'm going to have to hold back some things that I want to say because, you know, she is a coach and she, has direct connection to the head coach.
I have a little extra insight, so it's something that I can use to help her become the best player she can be while she's here. You know, being mature enough to know that I'm in a position for these 9 months where I'm her coach and she's a player, but we also know that our relationship as sisters goes on for life.
At McGonigal Hall, I'm Lindsay Bittler, reporting for Owlsports Update.
On to track and field, and now we go to Franklin Field, one of 2 meets for the Owls this season. In the 4x1 relay, here comes Temple in all black, finishing second behind Penn with a time of 42.15 seconds. Next, we have the men's 1500 with Travis Mahoney in lane 5, taking second with a time of 3:53.94 seconds. Finally, on the hurdles, Tim Malloy finishes in second for Temple with Chris Bradley and Joshua McFrazier taking third and fourth.
Now, one of Temple's best-kept secrets is the fencing team, and over the weekend, the Owls continued their success at the national championships at The Ohio State University. The team finished 9th in the country and had several players take home individual honors, including junior Alyssa Lamusco finishing 7th in the country and in the foil, and junior Kamali Thompson finishing 15th in the saber. The team finished with a 22-7 record this year. Neither of Temple's basketball teams made it to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. But that didn't stop March Madness from coming to North Broad, with the women's regional finals invading the Liacouras Center. Updates Jillian Marshall has more on a Temple connection to one player in the nation's top team.
UConn has been a women's basketball powerhouse for 22 years. Playing in the regional round of the NCAA tournament is almost a given for the Huskies. But for Caroline Doty, traveling with her team to the Liacouras Center meant that she was minutes from her home in Doylestown, but only seconds from her brother's apartment on Temple's campus.
Having the regionals be at Temple, it's great to be able to see him and hang out. I don't get to see him as much because football season starts in August, and I'm home in August.
It's really convenient. Like, I just walked over from my dorm and saw her play, so I'm pretty happy. Got to see her play at Temple.
But Caroline isn't playing with the Huskies. Last fall, she tore her ACL for the 3rd time. She's currently resting up and focusing this season on her recovery. But sitting on the bench isn't stopping her from becoming a better player.
I'm able to see different situations, hear things Coach says on the bench that other people won't be able to hear, and just pick his brain. I'm trying to talk to him as much as possible.
In the Doty family, it is not uncommon to be a Division I player. Caroline's younger brother, Mike, plays Temple football. Mike wants Caroline to come to as many of his games as possible, but he has one game in mind that she cannot miss.
I'd love her if she came to the Penn State game, because that's our biggest game of the year.
Yeah, I would die to come down to that game.
Caroline is looking forward to next fall when she can watch her brother play at the link and get back into basketball season. Reporting from the women's NCAA tournament, I'm Jillian Marshall, Owlsports Update.
Joe, you want to go in the nest?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's go. Men's tennis team took a bite out of the Big Apple this weekend, recording 2 shutouts over St. Francis and Fordham. The Owls went a perfect 18 for 18 in match play to improve to 12-5 on the season.
And the tennis players who wear skirts are playing very well, winning 7 of their last 8 matches, including a 7-0 victory over Fordham on Wednesday and 5-2 victory over George Washington over the weekend. The team has been led by the doubles duo of Teresa Stangl and Christine Claremont.
And the men's and women's crew teams competed in the 29th annual Murphy Cup on the Schuylkill River. The men's team took home 3 medals in the event, while placed 5th in the petite final. The Owls next travel to Fairfax, Virginia for the Occoquan Sprints. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Owlsports Update, but remember, you can follow the Cherry and White anytime by logging on to owlsports.com.
For Joe Polinsky, I'm Jeffrey Devitt. Thanks for watching.